Captain Alex Mercer gripped the controls of his ship as it shuddered through the upper atmosphere of Zithera. Outside, the sky burned with strange colors he had never seen before, streaks of violet lightning weaving between golden clouds. The sensors on his console were going wild, warning him that the environment was unlike anything humans had encountered. Yet Alex's calm training and years of experience kept him focused. He had a mission: meet the alien Queen Vailira, the ruler of Zithera, and negotiate a trade agreement that could benefit Earth for decades. His ship, sleek and built for speed, struggled against the thick ionized air. He adjusted the thrusters and dodged massive energy currents that could tear the hull apart. Every instinct told him this planet was dangerous, but curiosity and a stubborn sense of duty pushed him forward. Zithera had been calling to humanity for months through signals intercepted in deep space, and he was the first human to answer that call in person. Finally, the ship pierced through the clouds and descended into the palace district. Alex's eyes widened. Towers floated in midair, held aloft by energy fields, their surfaces shimmering like liquid crystal. Bridges of light connected them, arching gracefully over forests that glowed faintly with bioluminescent plants. This was no ordinary palace. It was a testament to the alien civilization's power and ingenuity. The landing platform appeared without warning, a shimmering circle forming as the ship touched down. Guards, tall, elegant beings with blue skin and eyes that seemed to glow from within, approached. Their movements were precise, almost robotic, yet filled with a grace that human muscles could not replicate. "You are Captain Alex Mercer," one of them said, his voice calm but firm. "The Queen awaits," Alex nodded. "Yes, I'm here to meet Queen Vailira." His voice sounded small against the vastness of the palace, but he reminded himself he had trained for encounters like this. The guards led him through halls that seemed alive. Walls pulsed with energy, light dancing across surfaces in soft waves. He felt a strange mix of awe and unease. Everything about this palace suggested power, absolute and unyielding. And somewhere within this power was the being he had come to meet, the alien queen herself. Finally, they arrived at a grand chamber. The doors, tall as a building, slid open silently, revealing a throne room bathed in soft violet light. At the center, on a platform that seemed to float above the ground, sat Queen Vailira. She was more imposing than any portrait or description Alex had seen. Her skin shimmered like liquid silver, her eyes deep pools of color that seemed to see through him. She wore a crown of light, delicate yet radiant, and her posture was regal, commanding respect without a single word. "Captain Mercer," she said, her voice melodious but edged with authority. "You have come far," Alex swallowed. "Yes, Your Majesty. I hope my visit is welcome." Vailira's lips curved into the faintest smile. "Welcome is not a question on Zithera, Captain. Every visitor is a choice, and I have chosen to meet you personally." Before Alex could respond, a sudden tremor shook the platform. The chamber lights flickered. Outside, he heard the roar of wind, or was it some form of energy? Alarms began to sound, the palace shaking violently. "An energy storm," a guard shouted. "It is unexpected." Alex's instincts took over. He scanned the room and noticed one of the Queen's advisors trapped under a fallen energy column. Without thinking, he dashed forward, lifting the column with all his strength, leveraging his body against the weight. The alien advisor looked at him with wide eyes, clearly unaccustomed to such raw human determination. Vailira's gaze followed him, sharp and focused. She said nothing, but her expression shifted, a mix of curiosity, admiration, and something deeper that Alex couldn't name. The storm raged on, but Alex continued to help, pulling the advisor to safety. He could hear the hum of alien technology trying to stabilize, and with a few quick adjustments using a portable tool, he managed to redirect energy flows to protect the throne room. When the last tremor passed, silence settled. The advisor nodded gratefully and Alex straightened, heart pounding. He had saved a life, and perhaps more importantly, he had proven something without words. Humans could act decisively in ways the aliens had not expected. Queen Vailira descended from her platform gracefully. She walked toward Alex, each step controlled and deliberate, the storm's aftermath doing nothing to diminish her presence. When she reached him, she stopped and studied him for a long moment. "You are unusual," she said softly. Then, before Alex could respond, she did something no one in the palace would have imagined. She wrapped her arms around him, holding him close with a strength that was both commanding and strangely protective. "You're mine," "Hi, human," she said, her voice calm yet filled with certainty. Alex froze. His mind raced. Was this a claim? A bond? A warning? The court around them gasped and the guard stiffened, unsure how to react. I don't understand," Alex stammered. Valera pulled back slightly, just enough to look into his eyes. "You have qualities that are rare among your kind. Bravery, quick thinking, independence. These traits are valuable, and I recognize them in you." Alex blinked, still trying to comprehend. You mean this as a reward? Or a threat?" She smiled faintly, almost amused. "Neither. It is recognition. And perhaps a warning. There are those here who will not welcome a human in this place. They will see you as a threat, and some may try to remove you. You must decide, will you rise to meet the challenge or will you retreat?" Alex felt a mix of awe and fear. He had trained for diplomacy, for combat, for survival, but nothing could have prepared him for this. Yet amidst the fear there was a spark of determination. He had not come this far to be intimidated, even by an alien queen. Before he could respond, a low murmur ran through the court. Alien council members exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of suspicion, intrigue, and unease. Clearly his actions during the storm had not gone unnoticed, and his sudden bond with the queen had unsettled the delicate balance of power in the palace. One counselor, a tall figure with translucent skin that revealed flickering internal lights, stepped forward. "Your Majesty, this human—" "He is untested. His presence here may disrupt our order. We must consider his place carefully." Valera's eyes sharpened. "Captain Mercer has proven himself today. He acted where many of you hesitated. His place here is decided by merit, not fear." Another murmur ran through the council, this one louder, tinged with disapproval. Alex realized the situation was more complicated than he had imagined. He was no longer just a visitor. He had become a figure of intrigue, perhaps even a pawn in alien politics. The queen turned to him again. "Come, human. You will learn the ways of Zithra. You will see our strengths, our weaknesses, and you will understand that your presence here is not merely tolerated, it is necessary." Alex followed her through corridors that seemed to pulse with energy. The palace was alive, the walls shimmering like they had a heartbeat of their own. As they walked, Valera spoke of Zithra's history, its achievements and the challenges it faced. Her tone was formal, but there was an undercurrent of something personal, a rare glimpse into a mind usually hidden behind regal poise. By the time they reached a quiet chamber overlooking the glowing city, Alex felt both exhausted and exhilarated. He had survived the storm, earned the queen's acknowledgement, and stepped into a world he had never imagined. Valera watched him closely. "You will not be safe simply by following orders, Captain Mercer. There are those in this palace who will test you, not for curiosity but for control. Remember this. Human courage is admired, but it is also feared. How you handle what comes next will define not only your place here, but perhaps the future of this world." Alex nodded, a sense of resolve settling over him. "I will do my best, Your Majesty." "I won't let you down." The queen smiled faintly, almost in approval. "I do not ask for loyalty, Captain. I ask for understanding, and the willingness to act when others cannot. That is what it means to be human." As Alex gazed out over Zithra's luminous forests and floating towers, he realized that his journey had only begun. He was far from home, in a land of wonders and dangers, bound by an unexpected connection to a queen who had declared him hers. The days ahead would test him in ways he could not yet imagine, and every choice he made would ripple through the halls of this alien civilization. For the first time in his life, Alex Mercer understood that being human was more than biology. It was the courage to face the unknown, the instinct to act when others hesitate, and the ability to make a difference in a world that was not your own. And in that moment, standing beside the alien queen, he felt the weight of destiny settle on his shoulders, heavy but not unbearable. For the first time he wondered, was he merely a visitor here or something more? As the city lights shimmered below and the palace hummed with life, Alex knew one thing for certain. This was only the beginning. The next morning, Zithra's palace shimmered under a violet sky, and Captain Alex Mercer felt the weight of the Queen's words from the previous day. He had survived the storm, earned Valera's recognition, and now he was a marked figure in a world that balanced power with precision. Every corridor he walked, every whisper he heard, reminded him that he was no longer just a visitor. He was part of something larger, something that demanded courage and careful thought. Valira appeared at his side, her presence commanding, yet calm. "You will meet the council today," she said. "They will test you, though not all openly. Observe them carefully. Their motives are not always spoken, and their loyalty is flexible." Alex nodded, steeling himself. Diplomacy was never simple, but this was beyond anything Earth had ever taught him. He followed the Queen to a chamber where the council gathered, a semicircle of alien figures, each unique, each radiating authority. Some glowed faintly from within, while others shimmered with patterned scales. All watched him with interest, curiosity, or thinly veiled suspicion. "Captain Mercer," Valira began, her voice carrying across the chamber. "You have acted with courage and skill. Today you will learn more about Zithera, and they will learn more about you." A counselor, translucent and pulsing with light, spoke first. "You are clever, human, but cleverness alone is not enough. Can you adapt to our ways? Can you understand our rules without failing?" Alex met the question with a steady gaze. "I can learn. I can observe. I can act when necessary. My experience is different, but it is valuable." "That is what I offer," the council murmured. Another counselor, a figure whose skin resembled flowing water, tilted their head. "Value is relative. You saved one of our own, yes, but will you protect us if the threat is internal?" Alex felt the weight of their meaning. The palace was not only a place of beauty and power, it was a place of secrets and hidden agendas. "I will act for what is right," he said. "I cannot promise to follow orders blindly, but I can promise to prevent harm when it is possible." Valira's eyes flicked to him, approving. "Truthful words, Captain. That is what sets humans apart. Your honesty is rare." The council's attention shifted. Some nodded, others frowned. Alex realized quickly that he would need to navigate not only alien culture, but alien politics. Each counselor held influence over different aspects of Zithera, and every misstep could cost him his position. Or worse. Hours passed as they questioned him, tested his reactions, and observed his behavior. At first, Alex relied on his training, calm breathing, careful words, and logical responses. But soon he realized that Zithera's people did not operate on logic alone. They valued creativity, intuition, and the courage to act in uncertain situations. These were human strengths, and he would need to use them to survive and thrive. During a break, Valira led him to a quiet chamber overlooking the city. Light flowed across the floating towers, casting reflections in the bioluminescent forests below. "You have done well," she said softly. "But the real challenge is yet to come. There are those in this palace who will not accept you, who see humans as unpredictable and dangerous. They will test you not through words but through actions." Alex listened carefully. "How will I know what is real and what is a test?" "Sometimes you will not know," Valira replied. "That is why humans are intriguing to us. You act in ways we cannot always predict. That unpredictability is a strength." No sooner had she finished speaking than alarms blared through the palace. The council chambers shook slightly and Alex's instincts flared. A group of masked figures had breached a lower level, aiming directly for the heart of the palace. They were armed with alien devices that pulsed with energy, capable of causing immense destruction. "Move," Valira commanded. Alex's training took over. He guided the Queen and her advisors to a secure location, all while analyzing the attacker's technology. Using a combination of quick thinking and his portable tools, he redirected energy flows, disabling several of their devices without harming the intruders. The Queen watched him carefully, her eyes sharp with approval. "This is exactly what I meant," she said quietly. "You act when others hesitate. That is human ingenuity. That is why you are mine, my human." The intruders retreated, frustrated and confused by the unexpected resistance. Alex and Valira stood together, surveying the aftermath. "This is only the beginning," she said. "They will return and they will test you in ways even I cannot predict. But you have shown them and yourself what humans are capable of." Over the next days, Alex worked closely with Valira. He learned about the delicate balance of power within the council, the history of Zithera, and the strengths and weaknesses of its people. In turn, Valira learned from him. He demonstrated ways to improve energy distribution in the palace, optimize defenses, and even proposed new strategies for trade and diplomacy that the aliens had never considered. The more he worked, the more respect he earned, not just from the Queen, but from key members of the council who began to see value in human innovation. Yet there remained those who whispered against him, plotting to undermine his influence. Alex knew he could not ignore them. One evening, as the twin moons of Zithra rose in the sky, casting silvery light over the floating towers, a counselor approached Alex privately. "Captain Mercer," the alien said, voice low and urgent, "there are factions here that see you as a threat. They do not care for the Queen's approval. If you wish to survive, you must act carefully and decisively." Alex nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "I will. I need to know who I can trust and who I cannot." "Trust is earned, not given," the counselor replied. "Watch for subtle signs. Listen more than you speak. And remember, humans are not the only clever ones here." Alex spent the next few days observing the council closely. He noted the alliances, the subtle gestures, the conversations that were meant to be overheard. Using his human intuition, he began to predict the moves of those who sought to remove him. One evening, he discovered a plan to sabotage the palace's energy core, a move that could have crippled the city and endangered the Queen. Without hesitation, Alex acted. He navigated secret maintenance corridors, bypassed alien security systems, and carefully disarmed the sabotage. When the conspirators realized their plan had failed, they were caught in the act. The council convened, and Alex calmly explained what had happened, providing proof of their intentions. Valera's eyes glimmered with pride. "You have done what many could not. You have protected Zithra, not for personal gain, but because it was right. That is the mark of a true human." The conspirators were removed from power, and the council began to respect Alex not just as a guest, but as a valuable advisor. His human traits, courage, ingenuity, and unpredictability, had earned him a place among the most powerful figures on Zithra. In the quiet that followed, Valera approached him once more. "Captain Mercer," she said softly, "you have proven yourself beyond doubt. You are not only my human, but a trusted partner. The council sees your value, and I see yours. Together, we will guide Zithra into a new era." Alex looked at her, understanding the depth of her words. This bond was not just political. It was mutual respect, trust, and recognition of his unique abilities. He had come to Zithra as an envoy, a visitor, but he would stay as something more, a symbol of human courage and adaptability. As he stood beside the alien queen, looking out over the luminous forests and floating towers, he felt a sense of purpose unlike anything he had experienced. He was far from Earth, yet he felt at home here, not because of comfort, but because of the challenge, the trust, and the opportunity to make a difference. In the days that followed, Alex continued to work alongside Valera, strengthening the palace's defenses, advising on diplomatic matters, and learning the intricate politics of Zithra. The Queen's acknowledgement of his abilities had shifted the balance of power, and humans began to be seen as capable, valuable, and even necessary allies. Alex knew that his journey was far from over. There would be more tests, more challenges, and perhaps more conspiracies. But he also knew something vital. Humanity had a place in the stars, and courage, ingenuity, and integrity could shape even the most advanced civilizations. Standing on a balcony high above the glowing city, the twin moons casting silver light across the palace, Alex felt the weight of responsibility and the thrill of possibility. He was not just a human in a foreign world. He was a bridge between species, a force of change, and a reminder that even in a universe filled with wonder, human courage could shine brightest when it was needed most. Queen Valera joined him, placing a hand on his shoulder. "The universe has tested you, Captain Mercer," she said. "And you have risen. You are mine, yes, but more importantly, you are human. That is something worth honoring." Alex smiled, a mix of pride and determination lighting his features. "Then let's make sure Zithra knows the best of what humanity can offer." Together, they looked out at the city, a kingdom of lights, energy, and life, knowing that the future would be shaped by courage, trust, and the unexpected power of a human spirit in an alien world.